This whole project, the Network of Biblical Storytellers Seminar, was a dream of Tom Boomershine's to bring together professional level storytellers, or as Richard the lovely way that Richard has put it, storytellers who's given their life to the craft, right? And people who have spent their time in academic contexts trying to understand how performance work, and putting us together in a room to see what would happen over 3 days. His vision was to impact the academy. So there are ways that that we impact the network of biblical storytellers, but originally I think Tom's vision was there's something happening at the network that the larger scholarly community needs to hear.
Well, I have spent my life studying New Testament texts. And first of all, I studied them on the assumption that ancients read them silently. And then I at least got to, they read aloud and probably had somebody reading aloud. But then I became increasingly convinced of how oral the early culture was, and that the texts were performed, and what the huge impact of the performance is on interpretation.
So for me, it's the people. The seminar brings together people who are passionate about the Bible and storytelling, biblical storytelling. And it's not only that we are scholars and storytellers, or even that some of us are both. It's that we're all more. And there's a genuine welcome and celebration of each other's diverse gifts that we each offer, which brings the best out of each of us.
I love the interplay and the intermix of the performing and the academics, and the way we do think together through these different avenues and different lenses.
The thing that drew me to the seminar and draws me still every year is the chance to think with people who are actual performers. The matter of performance has been academically interesting to me for a long while, but being interested in performance and experiencing performance by skilled performers are different things. And the chance to think with people that have given their lives to learning to perform is crucial to me. It's also been absolutely delightful to get to work with other academics who also take seriously the matter of performance, because it's one thing to think about it, but it's another thing to devote yourself to gauging the impact of actual performance. The thing that strikes me above all is that performance makes it clear that these stories are not controllable. Religious stories, so many people spend all their time trying to convert these magnificent stories into dogmas, and performers make it clear that that just doesn't work. And that is what fascinates me.
We can know that these stories came from human beings, and we are human beings. And so when we engage in the deeply human act of storytelling, I think that gives us, I think we can trust that gives us some measure of connection and understanding and insight into how in the world these stories were told and originated and circulated and valued.
I don't think my scholarship would have happened without the seminar. That, I started as a storyteller, that was my craft, and I wanted to explore, in line with Tom's vision, explore what I could bring as a storyteller, as a performance artist, to the academy, to our scholarly engagement with the Bible.
The word scholar sometimes is made into a synonym for academic. No, it's not. A scholar is somebody who studies things from the tip of the leaves to the tip of the roots. And that's everybody in the seminar. The storytellers study things with a profound drive and passion and a deep understanding, and the academics do the same. And to have a chance to be in a room of scholars with such a warm variety is a great gift.
Where we'll have multiple tellers, 3, 4, 5, 6, tell the same passage, the same story, perhaps at the same translation, perhaps with different translations. And Joanna, you comment about how a performance is a translation. And that is, I may have used the phrase earlier, endlessly fascinating, experientially in the moment, to think about and chew on later, to settle alongside thoughts we thought we already had established about that piece, but to see the wide variety of the multiple tellings of the same story, the same text, is rich in ways I don't even know how to enumerate.
Now, that doesn't mean there isn't being faithful to the text. There is. But there's a wide range of ways something could be performed. I use the example of Mark, that you could really tell the Gospel of Mark portraying Jesus as rejecting the disciples, or as I think is more accurate, and I think most of us here think is more accurate, that the disciples are more teaching advice and are fully expected to be restored to good fellowship.
I've appreciated the way that festival gathering organizers have expected seminar participants to offer workshops and be present in a particular way, so that what we do in seminar does feed our storytellers more broadly.
Talkbacks that we now regularly have happen grew out of having the seminar, right? And I know that lots of people really value that that part of the festival gathering after the epic telling.
Many of our members have written books, and those have had an impact on people. And I'll say, for me personally, it's always wonderful when you sit down to lunch with somebody who wrote a book that you read, and they're open to talking about it, or they noticed your performance and they say, I loved your performance. And you're like, ah.
And we have a couple of visitors each year to our seminar, and they add to it.
Seminar is a group of 25 or so people, and because it has this academic but also personal relationship, people have loved it and haven't left, and so the group is semi-stable. And so in order to allow the network members to get a glimpse more clearly, we have two mechanisms. We have a storyteller in residence, where somebody travels with us for 1 year and gets to perform and participate in the glorious conversations we have. And then we've also had a day where we allow about a dozen observers to kind of sit on the edge of our fishbowl and watch us.
We can tell and hear these stories courageously, even as they make us deeply uncomfortable. And we do all of this. We do it all in order to help others hear and tell biblical stories faithfully and courageously.
And it's just plain fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
Be well.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.